Hey everybody, it is Thursday night, which means it is time for some shop talk. The first shop talk of 2025, so hang on to your hats because this should be a fun one. Since I didn't introduce myself before, I'm Josh Olive with the aforementioned Haven Comics, and appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Looking forward to a good one. It's since we had Christmas last week and all that, it's been a minute since we had a show. Feels like forever. We got a lot of comics to talk about, some really good ones that I'm excited about, and a particular thing that came in that we need to do an unboxing of that we're also very excited about. And to do that, I need to bring on my co host, the one, the only, Alan. That's he. Are you a cat? What are you doing? I feel like I need to leave you guys alone for a minute.
Fucking box! What's in the box?
Yeah, part of me wanted to find the song "I Think We're Alone Now" and just play it like the rest of the box.
I think we're alone now. It doesn't seem to
Oh,
be anyone.
there's a logo. There's a logo. Yeah, this thing is god awful heavy.
It is very heavy. I had to unload quite a few of those, so I know whereof I speak. Yes, very heavy. What is up, James? How you doing, brother?
What's up? Yeah, what I was gonna do was I was gonna open this thing up, show a couple of things off that are in the bag that comes with it, and then wow, I'm getting feedback. Hang on, stop that. I'm more professional than that.
We can't hear it here.
Okay, well that's good. And then I was going to kind of do the comic cam on my phone, so I'm not trying to hold everything up because this would get a little heavy trying to hold it up.
It is very heavy. So we want to do an unboxing now. Is that what we're saying?
We can do that now.
I mean, it's kind of in your way. Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, let me do this right quick. I should have done this earlier.
We're going to give you the big cam there. Boom! Lots of Allen. So while you're doing whatever it is you're doing, it's the Legends of the Haven. What's up? How's it going, Matt? Good to see you, brother. Hope you had an awesome Christmas and a good New Year. Wow, we already lost a viewer. That's sad. And they came back. Or it's a different one. I don't know. See, that's the problem now. No way of knowing.
But that's the beauty of it. So I tell you what we're going to do is I will go ahead and
before you do that, I want to say obviously we're a huge deal in the comics world, as everyone knows. But we did just pass 700 subscribers on on YouTube. So, woohoo!
And I'm telling y'all, we have become such a big deal in the comic book community that I'm gonna give y'all a little inside track. At least in this area of the world, Dead Romans issue number 8 is going to be the hottest issue ever printed of any comic book anywhere.
That's a true statement.
Oh.
So, yeah, the box opens up. Those side flaps fall all the way open.
So I actually got to give them credit. Okay, so for those of y'all, we'll go ahead and quit joking around for a second. This right here is the G.I. Joe Compendium, the Kickstarter exclusive box set. Josh was kind enough to order like 5 billion copies of it. And some of us jumped on them just as quick as we possibly could, which was a good thing because I'm not a big Kickstart person because I like supporting my local comic book shop. And I would rather wait until Josh does it at the retailer level, and then I can go in and support the shop. That way I kind of get the best of both worlds. This one was a little different because they went so fast. I have never seen a Kickstarter fund as fast as this thing did and as much as it did. I mean, it was just like instantaneous everywhere. So the G.I. Joe compendiums finally come in. There was all sorts of stretch goals that come with it. I will. I don't have a ton of room here. I got to give credit where credit is due. They actually put some thought into this box as far as the packaging box is concerned, because it actually folds out when you open it the rest of the way up. I will do another cam here in just a second. We're just going to get this up, get this out of the way.
That thing is so heavy. People do not realize how heavy that is.
Yeah, and here in just a minute, y'all will understand why it's as heavy as it is. Yeah, went the wrong way. So I'll do like that. I think that's really cool. I'm getting some glare.
Matt, you have to take a moment to savor it. That's an important part. And while you're doing that too, I will share. We just got in. You guys all know we talked about it. The weirdness that's going on with Diamond and comic book distribution right now. But we just got in something that was supposed to come in about 4 months ago, and that something is a Bill Sienkiewicz variant of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh wow!
It's a little pricey, not crazy pricey, but a little pricey. Holy smokes, is it beautiful? Tom tried to claim it until I reminded him he needed to look at the invoice and see how expensive it was. And he was like, "Oh, I put that right over here."
Stop it. So before I get into this, and I do a secondary camera. Let's go ahead and show off some of these stretch goals right quick. For the people that pre-ordered I'm assuming it was just the people. I don't know. We really didn't talk about that, but I'm assuming it was just the people that kind of pre-ordered on the Kickstart.
I did get some extras, so they are available as kind of what do they call it at the restaurant when you can just order off a la carte. Yep. So if you do want just the extras, or if you bought the G.I. Joe set and you didn't get the extras for the Cobra set, the Cobra extras, we have those at the shop. If you ordered Cobra but you didn't get the G.I. Joe set, we have G.I. Joe sets at the shop of cards, pins, and I'm talking really high quality pins. And the Cobra one is like 3 times bigger than that, which I think is interesting. Like, why is the Cobra pin 3 times bigger than the G.I. Joe pin?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick up that Cobra pin.
But I mean, probably want the Cobra card set too. But we also have extras of the comics, the exclusive comic reprints that you could get.
We got the G.I. Joe sticker. They'll definitely be going on the store folio. We do have the G.I. Joe trading. Have you opened any of the G.I. Joe trading cards?
I have opened all of them, so I can show mine off from here.
Okay, cool. That's what this is. And then we have these, which I know a lot of people don't collect these. I'm not a big collector of them, but I do have a few. And it's just a kind of a fun little way that you can own a print that you like without spending that print money. Just pick up the little cards. I've got like a couple of Star Wars ones at home, things like that. I love this. I think that's absolutely beautiful. And then we've got the Storm Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as hey, it's Baroness. How can you not help but love Baroness? And after G.I. Joe issue 3, I don't know what number it was, Destro was not letting anybody get in his way of getting to Baroness.
No, 312.
That was, Destro showed me a level of, I don't know what that was, that I don't think we've seen in him.
We've seen it. He loves her, and he's serious about it. He's not joking around. So but, yeah, he will deal some damage to anybody who gets in the way. You're opening up the comics, okay? Because I have not done that.
Oh, you have not done
that?
But
I can't show. I haven't opened the comics, but I can show off the cards.
Okay, well, let's do the comics right quick, and then we'll show off the cards while I'm getting the other camera ready. So we've got G.I. Joe. This is the issue 21, the silent issue. This is the Storm Shadow variant for it. I'm guessing this is the Chromium variant.
That's correct. Yeah.
Next time Dustin Ellis is in town, I'm gonna get him to give me the once over on this one. This may be a CGC candidate right here.
It absolutely is a CGC
Because
candidate.
that is a
right
beautiful cover. We've got a reprinting of G.I. Joe Yearbook #1. And like I said, these were all the stretch goals that come with it. And I know that, okay, I got 2 of these in my pack.
Well, there may have been a mistake then.
Yeah.
Wait, you should have had 3 different books. Okay, yeah, that's a mistake. We'll rectify that.
Okay. Well, I mean, if somebody opens a pack and they didn't get one of these, just let me know.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there. But yeah, this issue 21 variant, old girl may be headed to CGC. I don't know just yet. So while Josh shows off the cards, I'm going to put some of this stuff back, and then we'll get the other camera going so y'all can kind of see what this box set looks like without me having to try to pick everything up. Toys everywhere. I love it.
All right, so cards. Let's swap who's in the big spot. Let's see. There was a Storm Shadow card, which if you just saw the comic, you'll see there's the card. It's all nice and shiny. And on the back, it's got some info.
Oh, Bill, I got the yearbook #1. I literally got 2 of that G.I. Joe one, and that was it. I got 2 of the G.I. Joe ones, the issue 21 and the yearbook one.
Yeah, I think I'll double check, but I think you got an extra there. So the Cobra set of cards has got Cobra Commander.
Oh, that's a cool looking card.
And again, that foil is very nice. Baroness. Come on now, focus. There we go. Beautiful. Destro. Major Blood. Zartan. Serpentor. Tomax and Zaymot. Dr. Mindbender. You're not even looking. Firefly.
Nice.
Copperhead. I always liked Copperhead.
I always thought he was a cool design.
He was, yeah, and he just for some rando who never actually showed up or did anything, but he drove a cool vehicle too. The Bat.
And see, and I always like the bats also. I like
they're cool.
I like the design of the bat. I mean, I like the design of a lot of the I think the Techno Viper might be the only one that I never really I was never excited over the design.
There's Crocmaster.
Nice.
Love it. There's Zorana. Wild Weasel. He deserves his own card. He's awesome. Love Wild Weasel. Scrap Iron. And Globulus.
He's your favorite, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Globulus, by far. He's the best half snake, half human, one-eyed wackadoo person out of all of those. For sure. So that's the Cobra cards. Let's see if I can get them back in the pack here. Come on, you can do it. Maybe you can do it later. It's going to take too long. The G.I. Joe cards, you start with Snake Eyes.
So just like the little prints, okay.
Yeah. You go to Stalker.
Nice.
Then you go to Scarlet.
Okay, so hold that Scarlet for just a second. Is it just me, or since Skybound has taken over G.I. Joe, has it seemed like they have started drawing Scarlet, and especially Mooneyham himself, they have started drawing her more and more and more fierce.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a little bit more angry.
And I mean, I love it. I think it's great. It fits well with her.
Hawk.
It looks like he's got a Walt Disney mustache.
Cover Girl.
Nice. Even though she should have blonde hair now, but okay, we'll let them have this one.
Different universe, buddy.
I know, but still, I'm kind of
Nope, different universe. Duke. You can't be getting on her. She's different. Hey, Kaylisa, what's up? Beachhead getting his own. If we can ever focus. There we go.
And you know, so you got Beachhead and you've got Firefly.
Yep.
Both of them essentially the same design, but so radically cool and different in their own rights.
And they're both awesome. There's Flint. Not my favorite card out of the bunch. Kind of a weird one. Gung Ho. We got Mutt and Junkyard. Pick and focus. There you go. You got Roadblock. Always love Roadblock. Roadblock's amazing.
Same from
Spirit.
the oh, that's a good looking card right there.
That's a great card.
Now, are all the cards standard in all the packs?
Yes, they're all the same. Shipwreck, if it'll focus.
That's a good looking card also.
Yes, it is.
So are they going to come out with their own trading card series, or is this just like
no, they're not trading cards. They're collectible cards.
Okay.
Jinx. Tunnel Rat. And last but not least, or I think very much so least, why? I never did care for Bazooka, and I don't get it, but people like him. Now, the important cards, I know we've been showing a lot of cards, and it takes a minute.
Bazooka and Gung Ho, those are my two least favorite ones.
I love Gung Ho. He's awesome. But for some reason, they have two cards in the next pack, one of which makes total sense and should be out on its own.
I love it.
Larry Hama. And the other one is Zap from the original lineup. Like, what in the world? Why those two? I don't know. It's a weird one to me, but that's the route that they chose to go. Now, that's it for the cards, but some of the other accoutrements that we get, he showed the G.I. Joe pin earlier. Here's the Cobra pin.
Yeah, I have to pick up one of those.
That's awesome. Here's just for oh shoot, I don't know where my G.I. Joe sticker went, but anyway, here's the Cobra sticker.
Yep.
It's huge. It's shiny, beautiful. Here is the G.I. Joe patch.
Yes, and I got the patch in mine.
Yeah, you're supposed to have the patch.
Yeah.
And here's the Cobra patch. Okay, there's my G.I. Joe sticker. So these are patches you can sew on your denim jacket or whatever. And then here's the, nope, that's the G.I. Joe patch, Cobra patch. I got two G.I. Joe patches and no G.I. Joe sticker. That's what I did. Some idiot loaded up these boxes. Wait, that was me. All right. So that's the accoutrement besides the comic books. So you should go over to the actual unveiling of the grand box itself.
All right.
You've got your sound on the camera, on both cameras.
Yeah, give me just a second.
We'll give
All
you
right.
a sec.
That should.
Kaylee, to answer your question, that's cracking me up. Yes, Diamond Delivery finally made it today. We finally got a shipment from Diamond today. Wow, you got to turn that off.
Yeah, I can't remember how I did. Oh, wait a minute. Bam.
There you go.
All right, let me turn this one back up over here now. There we go. That one just took me a second. All right, so we were able to show this off somewhat. Just for kind of a point of reference, because I know it kind of, that is the computer monitor in the background, but I mean, that's my hand up against it. So this is not a small box. We had showed these off also, but, and this is where it's going to get a little tricky. Let me, yeah. So let me do this. Hang on.
Ah! Total darkness.
So what you do is you actually turn it sideways, and this is what I really like about it. It's kind of got a little bit of a lip, but it opens up as one big massive display piece. These books are blue. That's why they're kind of showing up the way they are. But we will.
The embossing on those is absolutely exquisite.
Yeah, I'm trying to get at just the right angle to where I can get one of them out and hold the camera at the same time, which is not going to work.
We've gone dark, everyone.
All right, now I do not know, because this is literally the first time I've gotten these out, but I mean
That's not, yeah, that's embossed. You can feel the texture on that, so it's not just an image.
Yeah. Now, does each book have a different character on it?
Each of the four, yes.
Okay, so we got Duke,
And then the Cobra ones have different characters too.
we have Duke, Stalker.
I'm just going to take those books out of there.
Yeah, it's looking like I'm just going to have to. It's just going to be easier.
Easier.
Wow.
This is bizarre having both angles.
Having both angles?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's really
so
weird.
what you don't see is in the back of these, there's actually
Padding.
a padding that fits like right in the book, just like that.
Yep.
That's nice. I like that. So that way you don't have your edges get damaged.
That's correct. And notice that the gilding on the edge of each page is a different color for each book.
All right, so we will close this box up. So on compendium number 1, we have Snake Eyes.
That beautiful Mike Zeck cover from G.I. Joe number 53.
And I mean, these are some thick, heavy, high-grade books. I really do.
And they've gilded the page edges just like the Bible.
Yep. Then on 2, we have Scarlet. Once again, we got, looks like there's something in the back of this.
Oh, there is. There absolutely is.
Is there something in the back of all of them?
I know there is at the first 2.
All right, well, then we have for 3, we have Stalker, and then 4, we have Duke. I mean, you know what? I'll try to open that up here in just a second.
Just so everybody is aware, what is in these books, across these 4 books, is everything that Marvel printed of G.I. Joe between 1982 and 1995. So that's all 155 issues of G.I. Joe plus the annuals. It's G.I. Joe Special Missions, it's G.I. Joe Order of Battle, and it's the G.I. Joe yearbooks, which generally were the annuals, but not always. Um, Holy smokes! And
Oh,
it's in kind of chronological order too, so it's not like here's all GI Joe, here's all special missions. I kind of wish it was that way, but it's okay.
and this is at least in mine, and I did look. There is something in the very back of every single one of these, but in issue 2, this is the mini poster that's in the back of it.
Has it got anything on the back?
No.
No. Okay.
I say issue 2 in compendium 2.
Volume 2, yeah.
Yeah, volume 2. However you want to look at it. Let's see if I can at least prop it up like that for a second so I can maneuver some stuff.
That embossing work is just exquisite.
Oh, I mean, it's beautiful. Just an outstanding job.
I mean, it's hard to think that you pay that much money for a set of 4 books and it's worth it. But this is so totally worth it. Just not just for what you get, but for the quality of the product, and the all the bonuses and add-ons and that stuff is great. But the other thing is those bonus the books, the individual comic book issue reprints. I'm seeing those going for good money online too.
Well, there's always going to be a part of me that's going to say, hey, I wonder how much I could get for that.
Well, look inside the back of the first compendium because that's got something in there that you need to see in case you ever meet Larry Hama.
All right, so let me put this one back in here and we'll leave out compendium 1.
It's
beautiful, beautiful display piece. I like the fact that they put some time and effort into this.
They really did, and it is gorgeous. This is definitely a labor of love. And the other thing I really like is that they gave
nice.
That's a book plate. So the bottom line there is for the people who paid the extra money to get Larry Hama to sign it. He signed those, but if you see him at a con, you can get him to sign that.
Then that's going to be the Duke poster. Oh yeah, I would definitely have to get that signed. That is beautiful. Let's see if we can get a better shot of it. How does that turn out? Not too shabby.
Isn't that fantastic?
That is gorgeous. So we will, since I've got this one out, let's go ahead and flip it back over.
Right? The gilding on the edge of the pages is just phenomenal.
Just to kind of give everybody an idea of what they look like on the inside. I mean, there they are. You've got literally the compendiums. You've got the comic books right here.
Yep. And they are phenomenal. So good. Those books are so heavy. It's like you need one of those medieval reading stands to pick them up and read them, though, because the last thing you want to do is break the spine, right?
Yeah, really. Okay, let me get out of that. Come on.
I will kind of miss your echoey voice of God thing you had going on there for a minute.
We'll call it the Joe voice.
It's the voice of Roadblock, Roadblock, Roadblock. But is that box set not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your life?
Oh, yeah. And like I said, it's one of the heaviest things I've ever seen in my life, too.
Oh, it's no joke. You got to have a pretty strong shelf to put that on.
Yeah, now,
that ain't going to just sit on a shelf and without your shelf doing one of these. Like,
so I know, like we'll use Nick Ellis as an example. Not a G.I. Joe fan, but at the same time, he does collect the compendiums and the omnibuses and all that stuff.
Yep.
Even if you're not a G.I. Joe fan, this is an absolutely if you collect that type of stuff, as far as just the books themselves.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful addition to any collection.
Yeah, it is spectacular, and I will say they are going. Yeah, however, you look at how much they cost on the market when you buy them. What they're going for on the secondary market is a lot more.
Really?
Yeah. It's double. Yeah, I don't know that I was surprised by the quality, but I was very, very, very happy with the quality. They did every aspect of this right.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those where, and everybody's going to know what I'm talking about. Even though the some would be like, no, I never felt that way. Yeah, you did. Don't lie about it. You always regret on some level, like, did I really need to buy that? I mean, when you go after something big,
Yep.
you're like, you're like a couple of days later, you're like, did I really need to buy that? Or for some whatever little reason, you're not, say, 100% happy, even though you got exactly what you wanted. This right here was worth every penny and is exactly what I wanted, and extremely happy with the purchase.
Oh yeah, I have 0% buyer's remorse for that.
Yeah.
Um, it is exquisite in every detail. Right? Just gorgeous.
I'm trying to get everything put away just a little bit, and then we can get into some comic books.
Now, did you watch our last episode since you weren't able to be on it? Have you gone back and watched it yet?
I have not even had a chance to go back and watch it yet.
Well, when you go to work, that's what you should do.
I know a lot of people absolutely freaked out over that Superman trailer.
Yes, they did. And we got to break it down some with somebody who knows what's going on. So that was pretty awesome.
And I'm still up in the air on this guy as Superman.
Is that a pun?
You know what? I didn't mean it to be, but hey, if it works, it works.
You're so in dad mode that you just come out with the puns without even meaning to.
Yeah, it just happens. No, I don't know. I love the way he looked as Clark Kent. Especially if you read the new issues of Superman, the way Clark looks it's James Gunn definitely had to draw on some of that as far as the look is concerned.
Okay.
And I think I've got the newest issue in here so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. Oh, goodness. Got to add a G.I. Joe sticker.
You might as well get a Cobra one too.
Yeah, really. Okay, so in issue 21 of Superman,
Yep.
I believe this one come out last week, you kind of have a moment where Lois and Clark are kind of trying to have some type of date night, but he's really and truly turning it into training for her. But if you look, I mean, there he is in Clark Kent mode.
Yep, with the tousled hair and all that.
Yeah, so the way he looks in the movie, he makes a great Clark Kent as far as the look is concerned. But I'm just kind of, I don't know, we're just going to have to see. To me, Christopher Reeves will always be Superman. After Christopher Reeves, it's actually George Reeves in my book.
Fair enough.
And then Henry Cavill. I know a lot of people are like, hey, Cavill's Superman, blah, 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 blah. I think it's just a generation thing.
I'm sure that is part of it. I will say the suit doesn't do the new guy a lot of favors because it's bulky looking. And it doesn't make him look imposing, like physically strong and imposing. It makes him look like he's wearing a suit that's slightly too big or something, at least in what I've seen. In point of reality, that's a big dude who is jacked. And you just can't tell by looking when he's wearing that suit. And that's kind of a shame.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I just hate that we've still got, 7 months to go? Somewhere right around there.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a good summer, though, for as far as movies are concerned. As far as comics, did you see this? This is the Herculoids ash can.
I did not see the ash cans. I don't get ash cans anymore. They go straight in your box.
I don't know who does that, but thank you for it.
That would be Tom or Justin one.
This is kind of a weird ash can. We really and truly don't get any. The story is told through pictures. The
Well, that would
entire
be a comic book.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. This ash can just felt different. They are definitely going with that old school Herculoids art style from
Do you
that
view that
era.
as a positive or a negative?
Actually, I view it as a positive. Believe it or not, I view it as a positive. But until I saw Joseph Michael Lesner's cover for Herculoids. We'll just put that off to the side for later on. What we got going on here, Daniel Major?
I already had that up on the screen. You just missed it.
Okay.
Let me know when you're done.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure that I read everything properly. I saw a meme one time, and it was so perfect, and it was meant to be a smart aleck thing. It really was. But only comic book fans truly understood how true the meme was. And it was literally women are looking for Superman every single day of their lives, no matter which corner they turn, while walking right past Clark Kent.
That's pretty
And
good, actually.
it really is. I thought it was great. I just can't picture this guy as the Man of Steel. You know, Superman is supposed to be that guy that when he's in the red and blue suit, no matter who sees him, they come to a dead stop. They're like, hey, that's Superman. You know, I don't know. I'll just have to wait and see how they do it.
Well, let's talk some comics, man, because feel like we haven't got to really get into comics a whole lot lately.
Do that. I kind of just grabbed like some different things so we could skim through them. Are you current with Daredevil?
Yes.
I like who Wrath ended up being.
I was pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I like I'm absolutely love the art.
It was very good in that issue.
I will have to say though, and I cannot think of his first name, but Ahmed, his run as writer on Daredevil.
Oh, Saladin Ahmed.
Yeah, Saladin Ahmed. It's definitely different because we've had no true story arc. You know,
That's true. It's just been kind of meandering.
Yeah, it has, and not in a bad way. I mean, they could meander in a bad way. We've definitely seen that in the past, but the story keeps going forward. There's really no true way to break it out into the quote unquote 6-issue trade.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been solid. I've been pleased with his run so far.
Yeah, the whole introduction of Father Matthew has been good.
It really has, and I like the fact that when he went to exorcise the demon that his possessed Foggy.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, sorry, it doesn't work that way anymore. Remember, you gave up being Father Matthew.
Yeah.
You basically you turned your back on God, so you're in this alone now. And if I know that sounds really weird for people that's not reading Daredevil, but if you were reading the current Daredevil run, you would understand how much sense that just made.
Yep.
I mean, it's been so good. I mean, I hate that we lost Chip Zdarsky on this run, but still.
I don't think so, although maybe I know there was an artist who caused a lot of controversy on X-Men Gold, but Saladin Ahmed is not an artist. That wasn't him.
Yeah, and I know that several people were not happy with Saladin Ahmed's run on Spider-Man when they were doing it was like coming out, it seemed like every other day, and it was like 10, 12 different writers. When they did basically killed Peter Parker or left him in a coma, then brought Ben Reilly back in. That was that what, 2 years ago?
You know what? I'm so far out of the loop on what's going on in Amazing Spider-Man because I have felt so betrayed by that book. It's like, hey, what can we do no matter how stupid, that'll just make people mad.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, why can't we tell good stories? It's like they lost the thread on how to do that.
Now, okay, so speaking of good stories, and I've been purposely, I wanted to text you the other night so bad and ask you this, but I thought, no, we need to talk about this on the show. And that is Wonder Woman.
Oh, man. Oh,
So
man. That particular issue, it's like, oh my God.
the bad thing about it is you would give anything just to slap the hell out of Detective Chimp, but you know what he's doing and why he's doing it this way.
Yep.
Yeah. But here's my thing about Wonder Woman right now. The past 2 or 3 issues of Wonder Woman have felt a little strange. I like what they're doing. I like the way Tom King is doing this. It's different and it feels almost like a noir-esque title, but it's a Wonder Woman book. She's the main character of the book. It's
Hardly
her
been in
book,
it.
but she's barely in it, and it's ultimately not her story right now.
Well, it is ultimately her story, but she's not the one. Uh, she's it's a mirror image, right? She is not in out there throwing punches. She is back here like the sovereign, issuing commands and getting other people to act out her grand strategy, and it's phenomenally well executed. If I think I said on the episode you haven't seen yet, right before Christmas, I said if revenge is a dish best served cold, then her revenge is frozen solid. Because the sovereign expected her to come flying out, fists flying, when he killed Steve Rogers, and she didn't. And he's been on tenterhooks just waiting for her to come after him. And she had other people come after him and take his assets, all the big things that he was relying on. Boom, 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 knocking dominoes over left and right. And in this issue, she's going to pin him legally, right? And so she's working that angle. And I believe that was number 17, right?
This was actually issue 16. I don't think
16.
17 has come out yet.
Okay, 18 is the climax of the story arc with the Sovereign.
Okay, so the reason why I say I don't feel like it's ultimately her story is because the story is being told by Sovereign to Trinity.
That's true.
And to me, it feels like we're getting a very long and drawn out Trinity origin story. Because in this issue, he makes the comment about how Trinity has all 3 lassos.
Yep.
You know, and he even calls her Trinity. I mean, we know who he's talking to.
Yep.
So are we going to get up to the point where she gets all 3 lassos? How old is she actually while he's talking to her? You know,
Those
because
are all good questions.
I mean, you know, in one frame, you literally have Wonder Woman is changing Trinity's diaper and getting her ready for bed, but yet the story is Sovereign telling Trinity the story. So it's really it's so flipping good the way he's done it.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal.
I absolutely love it.
I could
Another
not be more pleased with Tom King's run on Wonder Woman. He specifically said in a retailer roundtable before number 1 came out, uh, people were like, "So, how you gonna do this?" Because we all feel kind of like we got burned on Batman number 50 with the wedding issue and all that. And he's like, "Look, guys, I learned a lot of lessons from Batman. That when you're doing these long, drawn out story arcs, you've got to break it up and do these other things in the middle of it. But you have to keep these things moving." And he said, "I learned a lot of lessons from that, and I'm going to apply them here." Um, and he's still got the job of writing stories that make old farts like us happy while also making his teenage daughter happy.
Yeah, and I like the secondary story in it also with Jimmy Olsen basically being the one that breaks all the news on the podcast.
Oh, wasn't that great?
Yeah, and I love the way he literally every time he mentions someone, he says, "My friend,
My personal friend, my close
my
personal friend. Yeah. Is Nick Ellis texting you?
No, Jacob has gone back to Texas, and he was texting me.
Oh, well, you got to take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Wonder Woman has been flipping great. It has been so well executed. It's not moving really fast, but it's moving very deliberately, and it allows the story to breathe, and it allows you to absorb the nuance and to really appreciate what's going on, rather than just going page flip, page flip, page flip, page flip.
Yeah, and I mean, did that make sense when I said it kind of has like this noir feel to it now?
Oh yeah, because you get that whole narration element of like film noir, where you got the guy talking about what happened, and that's very much what it feels like. No, I get that.
Which is funny because now, which is a great segue, we're fixing to jump to another guy talking about what was going to happen, and I only have one issue with this issue. I wish this would have been the Halloween issue because this was a perfect horror story, and it's
You
just
going to show people what you're talking about?
I'm building anticipation.
Oh, okay.
I gotta bring them along. But that is Redcoat issue number 8.
Oh yeah, that was a great issue.
I mean, it was this right here is a good horror story. I mean, it really is. You got a little suspense. We don't need a big long drawn out. Here is the problem that I have that I mean, and it's a personal thing. I'm trying to get to the page now. I'm doing this for a reason.
It's going to be the last page, isn't it? Or I know which page it's going to be.
Oh yeah, you know where I'm headed.
There you go. Yep.
So we have the Northerner.
Finally.
And apparently he can slide through time. He's got something going on to where he can jump around because the Northerner also shows up in. Hang on, I'm scanning. I got more books.
He's doing a history project, and there's a phone booth involved and a Circle K.
Yeah, really. And he's got to learn to play the guitar. Maybe did I not bring that one?
Wow.
But the latest issue of Geiger, he shows up in Geiger. It's only like a quick little panel, and
yeah,
did it either say am I too early or am I too late or something along the lines. But this right here would be the critique of Ghost Machine that I do not like. I do not like the fact that they tell you when their first appearance was, and that it was Ghost Machine issue 1. To me, this was the first appearance of the Northerner.
I agree.
I wish they hadn't. That's just me being a little nitpicky, but I mean, Ghost Machine is firing on all cylinders. I've got other Ghost Machine books. In fact,
the writing is great. The artwork is great. The production quality on the books is great.
Yep.
Even if every book's not like a grand slam, they're all a home run or bare minimum a triple, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I mean, I did not think that I was going to like this book at all.
I agree, and yet it's compelling.
It really is. I mean, because you're trying to figure out the whole dynamic of the angel was basically raised by, they're not bad people, they're just not good parents. That maybe they're a little bad on some level.
I guess they definitely are.
Yeah, but I'm talking about as far as like being abusive and things like that toward him.
More neglectful, but yeah.
Yeah, but the demon is raised by outstanding parents. So I kind of like the psychological aspect of the whole thing about
the whole nature versus nurture thing. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
And then the grave digger. You know, what's the deal with the grave digger in the cemetery? Who's he going to end up being?
That right there. That's exactly it.
Yeah, it really is. And then another one that's a kid's book that I don't think is really and truly going to end up being a kid's book, but kids can read it, is Rockefellers.
Oh yeah, it's not a kid's book. It's not aimed at kids necessarily, but it is very appropriate for kids.
And then there's one particular, there's the page right there.
Yeah, looking through all the timelines and such, the different realities.
Yep.
Though there's 4 realities. They did specify that.
Yeah. So we see how everything is tied together now. I mean, Ghost Machine is doing a great job. They really are.
It feels like they sat down with a plan and they're executing to the plan instead of just everybody randomly saying, "Hey, I got an idea."
Yeah, and then we've got, I believe, on that page, yes, we had the president speaking. So I'm assuming that's going to be the president from the first Ghost.
I would think.
Because, I mean, that's literally where it's supposed to take place. I mean, I don't know. One thing about Ghost Machine is you can literally dig through every single page and find something different just about every single time in their books.
And the artwork is absolutely a masterclass. It is worth studying.
Oh yeah, it really is. It's
especially on Rook. Like, oh my lord, that is so intricate and so detailed and so beautiful.
Now, this right here is the perfect annual tradition. They've done it twice in a row.
I know what this is now too, and it is great.
And I hope they keep this tradition alive because I need more Mrs. Claus.
Oh, yeah.
I have got to have the backstory on Mrs. Claus now.
Yep.
I mean, these were just fun. And the fact that this pretty much ends that Santa is now a card-carrying member of the Justice League.
Yep.
So that just opens up future Christmas specials.
It's such a great thing to do. I appreciate when they pay attention to big things like Christmas and they actually go out of their way to do something special for it. I like it when they do it with a special series like that, but I like the way they did it in Rockefellers too, right? Yeah. It was just part of the story. But there it is on the cover. You see the Christmas tree. You got the whole thing. So it makes sense, and I really, really appreciated that.
Circling back to this one for just a second because we are still in the middle of this doomsday time trapper storyline.
Yeah.
There is a page in here that basically Superman takes Superwoman, Lois, to the moon, and they have like a pseudo training session.
Fly me to
but
the moon.
She refers to it as date night. Well, there's a comment in here that, and I don't know, I love this page. I think it would make like a great poster. There's a comment about, is there anybody that is having a better date night than we are? And they're basically using boulders on the moon with their own makeshift dartboard against a mountain.
Nice.
Well, when you flip the page, it says Interlude 1, The Adventures of Metropolis's It Couple, Jimmy Olsen in Silver Banshee. It's literally 3 panels of them sitting on the couch watching a movie.
Fantastic.
And it comes right after she says, is anyone out there having a better date night than we are? And you're like, yep, they are. They're having a better date night. I don't know. I like that page. I thought it was really cool. Superman has
what's up? How you doing, man?
What up, Legion? We were talking about Superman. We were actually what did you think about the Silent Night series? And that Santa Claus is now a card-carrying member of the Justice League.
If you're bored and want to come on, we can send you a link. You're always welcome, dude. Always good to talk to you. Because we haven't got to talk to you about the Absolute line yet at all, and I really want to do that. Also, the new Justice League book and All Along the Watchtower and Two-Face. I just want to talk to you about a lot of DC books.
I tell you one, Dan Waters is knocking it out of the park on friggin' Nightwing.
I've got to catch up on that. I have not.
Oh, everybody was kind of like, oh my God, Tom Taylor's leaving. I'm worried to death about Tom Taylor leaving. No, This book is in excellent hands, and the art has been amazing. Also, you
Ooh,
know,
that is nice.
a lot of times when an entire team changes, I'm trying to find a really good page. You're just not, there's always something that you can kind of nitpick on. But I mean, this has just been great. Dude, you enjoy that dinner and play with them babies, because I know I'd be doing the same thing.
Also, take care of your knee or your ankle or whatever it is that you hurt. I'm sure something ain't feeling good.
But literally, to me, Nightwing feels like Zdarsky's Daredevil run. It's just
That's about as high praise as you get.
Well,
it's from you.
The tone and the art and just the way that it's being laid out there. I mean, like I said, Dan Waters has literally knocked it out of the park. I mean, it's just been so flipping good. There was, did I have another Nightwing issue in here? Maybe. I probably either that or I left it at the house. We kind of touched on this one earlier. We got G.I. Joe 312. Do not stand in the way of Destro getting to Baroness.
This battle for Springfield, echoing what happened in the early G.I. Joe, like 55, 60, whatever the time period was, 77 maybe, whatever it was anyway. It's kind of got similar vibes, but like the stakes have been ratcheted up a few notches. And I do love, it's one of those classic G.I. Joe things, right? Where you can't just go around killing folks because this is based on a cartoon, so you can't do that. But if you turn them into giant zombie mutants, then that's okay. So they've been blowing these mutants away, and that's been fun. But
Scarlet, Scarlet. I don't know. I mean, there's pretty much no doubt what he did to Serpentor.
Oh no, none whatsoever.
And so that, I mean, do you think he survived? Do you think they're going to try to drag that out, or do you think that's just the way to kill off that part of the storyline now?
No, I think he survived.
Now, I am looking forward to the next issue to find out what happens when Destro walks off in there and faces Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's going to be fun. And I love the whole thing of basically Zartan and the Joes are back in Destro.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's just been so good. Another one that
was another issue where like Snake Eyes was standing on the steps of the hospital as these guys are coming up, and he just starts quoting movies and stuff.
You shall not pass, or none
shall pass. Let's roll. Stuff like that.
I thought that was funny.
If Snake Eyes is going to talk, I noticed that his language is mostly monosyllables. Very rarely does he use any word that has more than one syllable in it. So it's clipped, but then it's things like that. And so the fact that Snake Eyes is talking absolutely still feels super weird to me. But I like that there's this particular nuance to it, and that he's not just like freewheeling and talk. He just short clipped little things that he says.
Yeah, and with the movie references, and I know this could be kind of a stretch, but you know how our brains work when you're laying in bed at midnight and you can't sleep. It's almost like he's getting caught up on pop culture.
Oh, it is. And when he's quoting Gandalf, who came back from the dead, particularly, I'm like, that's just a nice little element right there.
In my mind, and yeah, they could easily brush it underneath the rug and never say another word about it. But in my mind, there's coming a day where Snake Eyes and Sean Collins are going to have to be standing face to face. I mean, there's got to be some type of resolution to what's going on with Sean Collins, because he did become such a major part there for a while.
He did.
Now,
I think that'll come.
This particular storyline feels like it's been running for almost a year now.
Well, it
But
has been.
that's because we also had that break.
Yeah.
So,
Because I mean, this particular story did actually start at IDW.
yep.
This whole storyline, you're 100% right there.
Now, Jed McKay, we have sang your praises tons of times on this show, but I don't know what you were thinking by who you killed in this issue, but you don't do that.
I'm with you.
They better survive. I did not know how unhappy that would make me until it actually happened.
Uh-huh.
And that's all I'm going to say.
It's a fantastic issue, though, right? I mean, the people he's going up against have weaponized the media against him, calling him a religious zealot and a terrorist.
Yep.
And the Midnight Mission, a terrorist stronghold, and they have killed the mission because it was kind of a living entity, sort of. Well, they killed it.
Yeah,
and so now our heroes are on the run and being tracked by what looks like an army. It's pretty fantastic. It's a really great story.
And I'm wondering what's going to happen with Mark and Tigra now that she knows that Pym is alive.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a reveal there.
But at the same time, it was a reveal, but then we had to jump back into the story, so there's no time to process it.
Yep.
So it's something that we're going to have to revisit a little. And I love it when they do stuff like that.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they throw us a little bone here, and then we're like, oh, wait a minute, we're about to go to this other lair that belonged to this guy that I had to kill a while back because he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing. Yep. We'll deal with that later. Even though I literally just shocked your entire existence.
I do love that he's got a hideout as a place of somebody that he had to take out. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, that's a good spot, though.
Yeah, I like this spot.
It took me forever to find this guy.
And here's the thing about it. If the Avengers, if we go back some, the Avengers originally sent Tigra there to help keep an eye on him while he was doing his rehab.
And she's got Helsinki syndrome.
Yeah. But that means that on some level, they're still keeping an eye on him.
As long as she's still reporting.
Yeah.
Doubt.
So the whole, we've organized the media against you to think that, and trying to convince everybody that you're this big, massive, warlord and kingpin and everything else. And basically you have your own cult. The Avengers could step in and squash that at any time they wanted to.
Well, they haven't.
Well, I mean, that literally just happened. I mean, they could, though. In theory, they could do that because they've got someone working there.
It's just hard because once you let something like that out of the bottle, once the accusation is made, especially when it's done in a really public way like that, it puts doubt in people's minds for the rest of their lives. No matter what Captain America says or Tony Stark says, I don't know. I saw on TV that guy's bad news.
Yep.
Especially when they've got cops involved.
I don't know. There's just something that just doesn't. I guess maybe it's that aspect of the story. Maybe it's just me thinking about it way too much.
I think it is.
I mean, because to me, it's all right. Well, sure, whatever. Let's move on to see how he's going to get out of this. I don't care that we've used the media to turn the entire city against Moon Knight and all his cohorts. I care that you killed the Midnight Mission. The Midnight Mission. How are we going to bring it back?
Yep.
So, Space Ghost. Are you caught up on Space Ghost?
I'm not reading Space Ghost.
Oh, you're not reading Space Ghost?
No.
We see a little bit of Space Ghost anger in this issue, and yeah, that's good stuff. Didn't he say there was only going to be like 12 issues of this?
I believe that's correct, yes.
And I did see where we're getting ready to have like a crossover between Space Ghost and Johnny Quest.
Yep. Don't worry, I put you down for that.
Oh, I know. I saw it. I got to read it. One that I thought was going to be just kind of a filler issue, not necessarily a filler issue, just kind of a one shot. And I thought it ended up being a really good issue with a great story and fantastic art, and that was the Superwoman special.
Okay.
Because it does fill in what was going on at the moment that Lois got the powers.
Which was what? Because I have not read that.
She was actually on her way in that suit that Lex had made to help the heroes when something happened with all the Amazos and, basically the end of Absolute Power.
Yep.
She was on her way to that fight. And then it was like, it's like the suit shorted out or something. And because it's been a couple weeks since I read this one. And then she come to and she noticed that, yeah, she's literally flying to that fight. The suit shorts out. And then next thing she knows, she's fallen into the water and she wakes up on top of the Daily Planet.
Huh.
And she's got powers. At first, she doesn't realize she has powers until, like, she reaches for, I think it was a pin or something. She dropped underneath the couch and she just leans down and picks the couch up and doesn't even think about it.
So is her getting powers part of the whole absolute power thing where some people lost their powers and other people got them and that kind of thing? So if that's the case, whose powers does she have?
Well, here's the thing about it. We know whose power she has. We find out whose power she has at the end of this book.
Okay.
And he's on his way. He's coming.
Is it Superboy?
No, far worse.
Oh God, she's got Guy Gardner's powers?
Nope. She's got General Zod's powers.
Oh, at least that means he doesn't have them.
Well, that's just it. We're not 100% sure, but he's definitely, it leaves off with the question of, but we really and truly don't know whose power she has. And then you've got him basically standing on the helm of a bridge in space looking for her. So she's got his powers. He's definitely on his way. On some level, it's probably going to take a while. But the thing is, it does flat out say in here that they don't know if this is permanent. And they think that there could be basically a time limit on Lois's powers.
That wouldn't surprise me.
So, it was really good. Definitely worth reading. You just get like this cool background story. Another cool story that, I don't know, they've hurt my feelings and I'm kind of mad at them. G.I. Joe issue number 2.
Okay, I was just about to ask if you had read that. And do you now agree that rock and roll is dead?
Yeah. Wait a minute, what issue is that?
2.
Oh, that's just a different cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock and roll's dead, but I love the way they ended it with Clutch.
Oh, how great was that?
Because at first it was like Clutch is missing, and I'm like, oh, hell no, you don't. And then we get the last page with Clutch. So, yeah, I think that was really good. I do like the way they did that. I enjoyed, I get the delicate way to put this is, I thought that was a nice touch with what the Valkyries were doing on basically the battlefield.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, that was perfect.
That was like, okay, yeah, that just ramped up the ruthlessness some right there. I like the way they did that. I mean, it's one of those that I think it needs to go every other week, and then I would be happy.
That's fair.
Next up, and I've only got like a few left because I was trying to grab some across the past few weeks. This, literally another one-shot issue, but it was just a fun issue because it goes back to the whole family of adventurers, and that's Fantastic 427.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a fun issue. Another fun issue, and I enjoyed this a lot more than what I thought I would. And this was the Green Lantern Green Arrow World's Finest Special.
Okay, I had not read that. Was that good?
Oh, Josh, you got to read it. It is so good because it actually, number one, the art is just phenomenal.
Sweet.
But it goes back. This story takes place before they know who Deathstroke is.
Okay.
This story takes place. In fact, they're fighting Deathstroke, but they don't know who he is.
That's cool.
So, I mean, it's just really good. And then you get like a little secondary story with Flash and Green Lantern.
You
I mean,
forgot
you can tell by the suit this story takes place back in the day.
Yep. When you say Flash, you're supposed to say, ah.
Well, it's funny. Nice segue. Thanks for that.
See, there you
go. Quarterly issue 2.
Oh, yeah. Did you pick that up?
I've got it in my box up at the shop.
Okay. Yeah. That's like a throwback book if ever there was one. And it's a Birch book.
Oh, I did not know it was a Birch book.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It's Super Joe's, it's Stephen Butler on art, and it's a Birch book.
You're not reading Flash Gordon, are you?
No.
If there is an issue of Flash Gordon Quarterly, issue 2, because we've got the regular Flash Gordon ongoing, then we've got this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a copy of it still at the shop, pick it up and read the third story in it. It's called Flash Gordon and the Madness of Ming.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a multiverse story, like a different telling of Flash Gordon.
All right.
And it's almost like Dell Arden is a super spy,
right,
basically, and she's trying to figure out what's going on with Flash Gordon. And there's also what's going on with some of these other scientists and about how basically the nutshell version, without going too deep into it, is the reason why Ming the Merciless knows about Earth is because Flash Gordon's dad or his best friend or his dad's best friend discovered like some ancient tablets and stuff like this and like read them, and it's really bizarre the way they've done it.
I like the sound of that though. That's my kind of story.
And it's basically it's going to end up being up to Flash Gordon to stop all what his dad and everything did and what his dad and his dad's buddy did.
Okay.
It's just really good. It's kind of bizarre to explain. I really want you to read it and tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
And then rounding it out,
that's what I thought you were going to pull.
So the fact that when they were kids, his buddies made him sit through Zorro, I thought was absolutely heartbreaking. It needed to be done, but it was heartbreaking at the same time.
I just thought it was fantastic all the way around. A really good, still some action, but some good character development.
Yeah.
Now, have you read Absolute Superman #3 yet?
No, I have not.
Continues to be amazing. Fantastic book. Have you read this?
No, have not.
This is a must read.
Really?
Must read.
So
give me the
notes. What's going on with it?
Nick Fury, who has been working for the maker, the creator, whatever he calls himself, the maker, calls together all of the heads of the 7 factions, right? So Hulk and Captain Britain and the Rasputins and Sunfire, all these people who are the de facto rulers of the Earth on the Maker's behalf, right?
Okay.
And the whole time he's going through it, you're kind of getting what the dialogue in his head, uh, that he's tired of being a horrible person and doing terrible things in the name of the maker and all this, and he's going to betray the maker, who has been out of the picture for a while. But he's going to betray the maker, and he's going to betray all of these guys by killing them all. So he calls them all to this emergency meeting. They're all on the helicarrier, and he's buying time until the helicarrier can get out over the ocean, and then he's just going to blow the whole thing up with all of them on board. And then they start laughing because apparently this is the umpteenth time that he has done this.
Okay.
And so they just kill him and replace him with the next one. Because they've got an infinite supply of Nick Furies, I guess.
Really? That's kind of weird.
Well, he always had those life model decoys and all that stuff. I'm guessing it's something like that. But in any case, it is just a fantastically well-written issue. And there's several really cool reveals that come out of it. But it's a must-read. It's very good. If you liked the movie and you wondered what it would look like in a kind of PG-13 sort of a way.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the total vibe of the movie, but without the language. This is that Parliament of Rooks book that I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it, you think that's some kind of Edgar Allan Poe, Fall of the House of Usher, Nevermore kind of story, right?
Yeah.
It is not. It is a fantasy romance with horror elements. The artwork on the inside is exquisite. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. It's mostly in gray wash, and the only color they ever really use is red and a kind of an orangey red. But look at that.
Nice.
I mean, it's just phenomenal. Are you caught up on Seance in the Asylum so far?
Sure haven't. I was trying to get caught up on all my bigger books.
This one continues to be very solid. I can't wait to see how it ends in the next issue. What about this one?
No, I'm actually not reading that one.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm actually not reading that one.
It's a 5-issue limited series written by Dan Waters. If that helps you any.
Yeah, I may have to pick it up now.
This is actually Bruce Wayne. This is Batman being a detective.
Okay.
It's a detective story. He's got to figure out what's going on and what's happening to these people who are killed in these bizarre ways. It feels kind of 7-ish. But you see this guy here?
Yeah.
That's a bad way to die. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of low level, like literally a death by 1,000 cuts kind of a thing, right? But eventually he finds the guy who is doing this because he figures out like one of the people he's going to go after next. And he goes to confront the guy and he can't fight him. Batman cannot fight him because he is, I don't know a better way to say it. That's him.
Okay, so stupid question, but why can't Batman fight him?
Because if he hits him, he will kill him. Any of those things that it's like he is like 90% of the way to death.
But you know, Sometimes, in order to make scrambled eggs, you got to break a few eggs.
Well, Batman is very much against that policy.
I know, but still. Every once in a while, we do need him to slip over into Judge Dredd territory.
Well, he's not doing that in this one. So he's going to have to figure out how to stop this guy without that, right?
Yep.
He is the ouchie man. That's right, Kelly. So, he looks very ouchy. But it's a really, really good story that I am very impressed with. It's the same artist from Absolute Wonder Woman, who I don't like his art on Absolute Wonder Woman, but I think he's very good on this book. So it's a matter of the style suiting the story kind of thing, which we've talked about before, right?
Yeah.
Let me grab another stack of books here. Hang on one second.
Well, while you grab that other stack of books, Calendar Man, really? I was thinking more along the lines of Clock King, but we could do that too.
Yeah, Kaylisa's right again. That's what Batman needs to do. Send Calendar Man after him. Ooh.
That would be awesome.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that would be amazing. Let me see here. Here's the introduction of the new, or of a new Ultimate Guardians of the Galaxy. And that is quite a weird lineup.
Who is that?
It's not who you think. Any of them. They're from the. You remember they had the Guardians of the Galaxy 3000 or 30,000 or whatever?
Yeah.
That's the Guardians of the Galaxy 6000.
Okay.
So way in the future.
So the dog's still alive?
You know, that is a true statement.
I guess that's all that really matters.
You got a new Peppo's book.
Yeah, I can't wait to read that one, see how he does Cable.
Cable Love and Chrome.
Did you see where on Twitter Liefeld has been posting pics of Youngblood?
I have not.
Apparently we're getting a Youngblood title in 2025.
I haven't had a chance to read this one yet, but I really enjoyed the first one, and I'm looking forward to the second one here. Good, solid book. Also, have not had a chance to read this one, but here it is. Justice League Atom Project. I've never been a fan of Captain Atom, but I'll try it. It's weird. It's written by Ryan Parrott, who wrote Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for a while, and I'm not a Power Rangers guy.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a lot going for it in that perspective, but it does have Mike Perkins' art, and I love Mike Perkins' art. Mike Perkins, who did that Batman First Night story with Dan Jurgens. He's phenomenal, and love his art, so that's good. Here's the Super Joe's book that Daniel Major was talking about earlier. This was another Kickstarter that we backed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's your Birch.
Nice.
And the interior art is Stephen Butler doing art that looks like the time period. The really early 80s, the late 70s.
Yeah.
So it's just great.
His lines are so friggin' clean.
They absolutely are. Absolute Superman #3.
Yeah, now I did see online where a lot of people are, well, some people are complaining and some people are basically cheering the fact that the ultimate hero in the story is his mother.
Why would anybody complain about that?
Well, I don't know. I haven't read it. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
It's both of his parents, really, but his mother certainly very much so. Um, very much so. She's nobody to toy with. Um, she's pretty amazing, and it's what it really is, and what makes it interesting is that it's delving into uh, his origin story. It's really fleshing it out more, and I love it. Yeah, that's a good description of Super Joe's right there. Yeah, really good description. But I thought I like that they're giving us more of his origin, and there's some interesting stuff, some hints and things about Pa Kent.
Really?
And yeah, there's some interesting questions that are raised by that.
All right. Yeah,
This
the stuff.
continues to be a solid book.
Yeah, I want to say in the back of that one is where Northerner shows up for a second.
Yep.
Back
Now
of
this
that
is one.
See, I'm not reading that one.
Well, the first one just came out. It's by J.G. Jones, who is an artist, and the artwork in here is exquisite. Um, it's this whole kind of Grapes of Wrath kind of time period, right?
Yeah.
And there's somebody who's forcing these farmers off of their land, and they're picking up and moving out, but there's a dead body, and it's got fantastical elements to it, but they're really low key. It's so good, and when I tell you the artwork, it's again mostly this kind of a gray wash sepia tone look to give you the real sense of the time period or the fact that it's set during this old timey. Um, there we go.
Yeah.
So it's not black and white, and the camera kind of makes it look black and white. But on the first page, like you get he's burning a pot, a big old thing full of millipedes.
Yeah.
Setting a match on him because, yeah, I kind of would too. That's creepy. But it's a mystery. It's kind of a western. It's in the like early 1920s or late 1920s kind of a feel to it. It's I'm not quite sure what it is, to be honest with you, but it's really interesting, and I want to read more.
All right.
We didn't get a lot of copies, but I mean, here's the last page. That truck down there, so we got a storm coming, and look at that.
Nice. Oh, I like the face in the storm.
Uh-huh.
See, I like it when they're throwing little details like that.
It's so good. This is such a good book. It's like I said, I'm not even positive that I really like it, but I'm fascinated by it, and I want to read more. Speaking of,
now I know you really like that one.
We quickly sold out of this, and we've had to reorder more, and there's precious few copies available for reorder. Hell Hunters #1. This was fun. A Ghost Rider set in World War II, killing Nazis. What's not to like about that?
Now, is that going to be ongoing, or is it a miniseries?
It's 5-issue limited series.
All
right. And it's a really well done Ghost Rider book. Obviously, it's not Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch or Robbie Reyes or any of those. But yeah, no, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Let me see if I got any others. I got a ton in the stack here. Tom Taylor continues to do good stuff with Detective. I'm really digging this story arc.
Yeah, I have not. I've got it at home, but I have not read that one yet.
It's just moving right along, and I'm loving it. Oh yeah, Justice League #2.
Bless you.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yep, I've got
Very,
that
very
one.
happy with Justice League. Okay. Now these, did you see what's coming from Marvel? A few months ago, we had the just theme covers of Godzilla versus people in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, because I had to get the Godzilla and Daredevil.
Now we're getting comics.
Yep. Godzilla versus Fantastic Four.
Among others, but that's one of them.
I wondered how long it was going to take since we had Godzilla and King Kong versus Justice League.
Did you see who's writing it?
No, Oh, it's going to be good there. And just go ahead and put just everybody that has a box at Haven, just put them down for it.
It's going to be good. Ryan, he's also writing One World Under Doom.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's I have liked his characterizations and what he has done with Doom within the pages of Fantastic Four. So I'm looking forward to that.
Ryan North and Jed McKay are unsung heroes of the Marvel Universe right now, in my opinion.
And though he's kind of moved on from Marvel, David Pepose too.
Yeah.
This one's an interesting one.
Of Asgard?
Yep. He's not the Sorcerer Supreme on Earth, so he's now the Sorcerer Supreme for Asgard. It's like he kind of got his job back, but somewhere else. Trying to think if there was anything else in here that just really, really wowed me. They're doing their first big X-Men crossover called X-Manhunt. Which, okay. This one's an interesting one. The Thing is getting his own 5-issue limited series. Okay, but look who's writing it.
Tony Flex?
Tony Fleeks.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that should be interesting. There's a book for you. Nick Fury versus Fing Fang Foom.
Oh, God.
What the heck is that?
I'm kind of interested in that.
It's written by J. Michael Straczynski.
All right.
I mean, it's like, that's ridiculous. I kind of feel like I should read it. It's written by J. Michael Straczynski. Dadgummit, I'm going to have to read it. Just absolutely bizarre. Let's see. I do like that they're doing facsimile editions of Fantastic Four, and they just started at #1, and they're doing #2 and #3 and #4 and #5. I love that.
Yeah.
And I believe, if I recall correctly, that they have a facsimile edition of Daredevil #1 coming out.
I thought they already had it come out.
Maybe they did. Maybe I
or am I thinking Moon Knight #1?
I don't know. Did you read the first appearance? Oh, no, you hadn't read that, because that Ultimate Universe book I was talking to you about with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
That's the first appearance of Ultimate Wolverine.
Oh, really?
Who is the Rasputins have all the mutants in Russia and that whole part of the world.
Yeah.
And they have been doing the experimentation, and he's not Weapon X in this world. He is the Winter Soldier.
Okay, now that's an interesting twist.
Isn't it? Isn't it? It's very cool. I'm looking forward to more of that.
I do like that mask, the way they've designed that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Ultimates has been consistently good. Weird, but good. Let's see. Is it just me, or is this cover? I don't get the appeal of this character, and this cover is gross.
Yeah, I don't get the appeal of it either.
Why?
It's to me, it's just all part of that whole. We've sent Spider-Man so far down this rabbit hole, we don't know what to do with him anymore. So let's just start throwing whatever we can think of against the wall and see if it sticks.
I guess it's just weird. Let's see here. Under weird things to have a facsimile edition, Marvel Fanfare number 15. That's a weird thing to have a facsimile edition for, but
It
okay.
really is.
Like, what are you people thinking?
Unless they're trying to capitalize on the whole Thing miniseries getting ready to come out.
Well, no, I think they're trying to capitalize on anything to do with the Fantastic Four because of the movie.
Yeah, no, Daniel Major, I think I'm going to pass. Thanks for offering.
Which one are you talking about that you missed or you couldn't find a copy? And I'll see if I can get one for you. Check that cover out.
Nice.
Look
and
at
what's Hunter's Moon doing up on her like that?
That ain't Hunter's Moon. Moon Knight's just got his cowl thrown back.
Oh, okay. All right. I was about to get a little upset. Don't be upset in the apple cart now.
And it says a wrathful God. That's the big text underneath.
Hell Hunters. He was talking about Hell Hunters, Josh.
Hell Hunters. Okay, I've got some coming in. They're not cover A because cover A was sold out. But it's a pretty cool looking cover. It's cover B or C or something. I've got 3 copies coming in, so we'll make sure you get one of those. On the DC side, what do you think about this? Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee doing Hush 2.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they do it, to be honest with you. To be honest, I can't believe that Hush has been as quiet as he has been all these years.
You get the impression that they didn't quite know what to do with him, so they haven't used him much. And I get that same impression from The Bride from Batman and Joker Deadly Duo.
Yeah, and I would love to team up with Hush and The Bride.
Ooh, that'd be a good story.
Those two could burn Gotham before Batman even knows what's going on.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Hush to seeing what's going on there.
So here we've got Absolute Green Lantern comes out in March, I believe.
Yep.
Come on, focus. So that's Absolute Green Lantern. And then this one, I'm really not sure what to make of that.
Was that
Absolute Martian Manhunter?
Yeah, I don't understand why we're getting an Absolute Martian Manhunter.
I don't either. At all.
In that case, go give us Absolute Firestorm.
And then you got Absolute Flash.
That looks pretty cool. But he almost looks like Red Death there.
A little bit, yeah. I have to order one of these for Aaron. It's Peacemaker presents the Vigilante / Eagly double feature.
Yeah.
So Aaron's got to get that. See, that's my question, Daniel. Is that supposed to tie into something else? Because I don't know. Absolute Martian Manhunter is a bizarre choice, and it's written
And
by Denise Camp. Um, so it's not like it's somebody that's bringing like real heavy hitter power, big name cachet to it as a passion project. They have to have a plan. I just have no insight whatsoever into what that plan might be.
and not just that, but I mean, if you're going to bring this absolute universe together and create your own little Justice League there, I think that's kind of pointless. I don't really want to see that. I like these
I,
characters the way they are.
I agree. A hard agree. Could not agree more.
I mean, it would be one thing to have them just randomly cross over
Right.
every once in a while, but you don't need to build this massive team. And honestly, we still don't know what the end goal is. I mean, we could have, by the time it's all said and done, we could have a crossover between All In and Absolute.
There's Secret Six #1, if that interests anybody. I don't know who that might be.
It does look cool.
It looks cool. It's a 6 on the head, but it also looks like a Jerry curl.
Yep.
Spit curl there. And then you have this.
What is that?
Adventures of Superman, the Book of L, #1.
Huh. Who's writing that?
Philip Kennedy Johnson.
All right.
This cover down here, the 1 in 25,
That is beautiful.
that looks cool.
Does it give us a synopsis on what this is about?
It says Superman returns. Fan favorite Future State House of L creators Philip Kennedy Johnson and Scott Godlewski reunite for the adventures of Superman, the Book of L. As the Super family settles into a well-earned time of peace, a powerful ally turned enemy invades Earth with an army at his back in the god aspect of Degrun, mad god of the first world. When even the Super family lacks the power to stop him, Superman is sent against his will to a place even he has never been, where he'll find allies he could never have expected. It says concluding the events of Future State.
I thought Future State ended a while back.
A long time ago. Ugh.
Because Future State was like the, what, 3 or 4 month story arc that took like 15 years to tell. My God,
Yes.
it felt like that dragged out.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Well, speaking of dragging out, I don't want to drag this out any further. You got any? What's your favorite top 2 or 3 things that you've got or read or dreams that you realized in the comic world in 2024?
In 2024, I'm still chasing my holy grail of all books in 2025. I don't think I'll ever get it because if I do end up buying it, I'll have to sign divorce paperwork that afternoon. So I will always keep that Daredevil #1 as a dream. I love the fact that Mark Spears brought back the OG monsters in 2024. And it was not just him. We also got the creature from the Black Lagoon. We got Frankenstein. You know, I mean, I know some people are tired of horror. I will never be tired of horror. I just like the Epitaphs of the Abyss. I love the fact that stuff come back. I mean, yeah, I know that everybody just freaked the hell out over Transformers coming back, but it seems like we got this massive resurgence of G.I. Joe, which is always fun. I was a little disappointed in AWA.
The fact that they just shriveled up and became a like Kickstarter only kind of a deal.
Yeah, and it's just really weird what happened and how fast it happened. And I loved AWA's product.
Yep.
Um,
I just got Daniel Major to try Red Zone the other day.
Oh, and he loved it. I mean, I can go ahead and tell you he loved it because everybody loves Red Zone.
Such a good book.
I am 2024 super happy and super proud of what Mark London and them are doing at Mad Cave. I mean, there's one book after another. I mean, just great stuff. One of the things that I was really surprised of by 2024, and I'm still excited and happy for it, and that was the return of Space Ghost, the return of Johnny Quest. They're leading the way to some of this older stuff that we had. The return of Flash Gordon. I love this. To me, the sleeper hit of 2024 that nobody was paying attention to, and they're still not giving it the attention it deserves, is Flash Gordon. It is the old school swashbuckler and space adventure that it was supposed to be.
Nice.
And I mean, I just love the way they're doing it. The art, the story, the direction. I mean, everything they're doing with it has just been great. I mean, to me, if I had to recommend one book for 2024, I love Mark Spears to death. We cover Mark Spears a lot. I mean, I'm always going to be pushing and hawking monsters for him as much as I can, but I'm kind of taking him out of the equation on this one. If I had to push one book for 2024 and say to all my sci-fi friends and adventure friends, you need to be reading Flash Gordon. It's just been that good.
Wow, that is high praise.
What about you?
Well, I'm kind of with you there. I am thrilled with a few things. One of which is the return of GI Joe to a place of prominence, and the fact that that's based on quality. The fact that we have both our cake and we get to eat it too, right? We've got Larry Hama continuing the saga, and then we also have the new stuff. I love that. That's fantastic. I love the resurgence of DC with the all-in stuff going into the Justice League, and the fact that the Justice League is back to feeling like what it should have always been, like a premier book. That's got the top-notch writing and the top-notch art, telling top-notch stories. It's what it should have always been, and I love that we're back there. I love the cohesiveness of the way they've pulled the stories together to get to this point, going into the all-in stuff and absolute power, and then going into that. I just thought it was really well executed. To me, so far, the Absolute Universe is a hit, and I think that's great. It's the comic book industry is best when both DC and Marvel are strong.
Yep.
And we learned that the hard way back in New 52 when DC tanked, and they tanked hard. We lost people who had been reading comics for 40 years. They quit because they were all DC, and they were so disgusted by it, they quit and they walked away. I think if they could read comics now, they would want to come back.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really happy about that. Going to throw it in a separate box because it came in a separate box. But that G.I. Joe compendium set shows what you can do and how successful you can be doing it when you give good material the quality treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fantastic. I'm really excited by that. I love that there are so many successful independent publishers. I'm talking, I'll typically wouldn't include them in a thing like this, but I'll include them here, like Ghost Machine. Wow. Just fantastic. Really, really happy for those guys. Very proud of what they're doing. Uh, I look at things like Mark Spears. What a phenomenal year for Mark. I mean, he took 30 years to become an overnight success, but he is the most he's the hottest ticket in the comic book industry right now. And his Monsters book, I don't know if you saw the numbers. I don't think you were here for that, but issue number 1 sold about 11,000 copies.
Yep.
Issue number 2 did not go down, which it almost always does, but it sold 14,000 copies. Issue number 3 sold 42,000 copies.
Wow.
And that's especially meaningful to me because issue number 3 has got the tribute in it to Alex.
Yeah.
So more people will have that in their hands, and I'm really excited for that.
You got to think that there's probably some poor guy at King Spot that is sitting there going, "Oh my God, what have we done?"
No, that dude is sitting at King Spot going, raking the money.
I'm sure he is, but I mean, at some point, you've got to figure out how to repeat that success.
Well, yeah, you got to pull another rabbit out of your hat.
You got to pull. So that's what I'm saying. There's probably somebody sitting at King Spot right now going, "Oh my God, what have we done, and how do we do it again?"
Oh, 100%. 100%. So yeah, I think that's been pretty phenomenal. What are you looking forward to in 2025? What's something that's coming down the pike that you're excited about?
There's not one thing in particular I'm excited about. I want to see the big thing for me, and it's just about every year, is I want to see how these new stories are going to unfold. I want to see which direction we're actually headed in the longevity wise of DC as far as the all in stuff. Yeah, I think you're right. We'll definitely start seeing a leveling. I am really interested to see how far Ghost Machine's reach ends up becoming. I'm really looking forward to the Northerner. I'm looking forward to the first Ghost. I think those are two of my biggest ones that I'm looking forward to. At some point, Marvel is going to have to respond to DC.
I sure wish they would.
And right now, they're just not. I mean, DC has been slowly building this for several years. It's been a slow march with what they've been doing. And they finally got us here, and it's just like, holy crap. Okay, Marvel, it's your turn to respond. How are you going to respond? You can't respond with Spider-Man. You really can't.
They could, but they would have to actually have an event that resets Spider-Man as good Spider-Man instead of garbage.
They would have to reset Spider-Man and X-Men. But
they just did X-Men, so that ain't happening.
But I mean, how do you reset what should be two of your biggest franchises and you don't mess up the books that are actually carrying you? Because I mean, Moon Knight, Daredevil, Fantastic Four. I would like to see Marvel put more into Fantastic Four and to push that one harder.
I think we're going to get that with the movie coming out. I think they're kind of going that direction.
But my thing is, I guess the movie actually scares me though, because are we going to see the comics suffer because of the movie? Will they want to start trying to emulate the movie?
Boy, Daniel, you hit the nail on the head with that.
Oh yeah.
Stop trying to get fancy and cute and just give us good, solid stories with good art. And guess what? They will sell.
I tell you one thing that I would love to see which it's probably, I mean, it's never going to happen. It's a flat out pipe dream for me. I would love to see if they took the Old Gods podcast and turned it into a comic book series. Some of the content and the storytelling in it is just phenomenal. And the way comic books are done now with like the 4 or 5 issues, take a break, 4 or 5 issues, take a break, 4 or 5 issues, take a break, what some of these companies are doing, they could do that so easily with Old Gods.
That's what Dark Horse has always done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I mean, I guess I just really can't say what I'm looking forward to the most in 2025 because I'm just looking forward into seeing where the stories take me. You know, a couple of years ago, I had no idea that I was going to flip the hell out and fall head over heels in love with Clear.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, I guess that was what, 2023?
Yep.
To me, this random 3-issue oversized comic book that started on Substack dominated 2023 as far as I was concerned.
It was a phenomenal story.
I mean, the best story I'd ever read. I had read that year.
Yeah.
You know, 2024 when Mark was emailing us that stuff, you know, the PDFs on them, I'm thinking this is really cool looking. This is really cool looking. I really hope this does something for him. Oh my God, I had no idea that it was basically, I mean, on some level you could, you know what? I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to jinx it. But who would have thought that this PDF that we were emailed several months back was going to take the comic book industry by storm in 2024?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'm with you. I'm looking forward to pleasant surprises.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward as bad as it sounds and as goofy as it sounds. I'm looking forward to seeing where our little adventure on this show takes us next.
True that. We're going to have to get some guests lined up for 2025 and see what creators we can have come on and join us.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. All right. Well, I think that's a great place to wrap up. Happy New Year, everybody. Look forward to it, and we will see y'all next time. Thanks, everybody.